In this tutorial, I want to share with you about this very silent status bar in Microsoft Excel. In most of my tutorials, I focus mostly on the ribbons and what you can do on most of the tabs and the key features that you can access from this tab and the general ribbon entirely. I talk about different kind of tips and tricks on how to use these tasks, these ribbons, okay, these key features, but I hardly talked about this very status bar, which is quite and very important. So there are quite a lot of things, but when you look at it, it looks kind of quiet now, but there are so many things it does to help us understand or to help us work well on Microsoft Excel. So let's take a look at some of the key things that this status bar can do for you. So for example, let's say at this point, I want to select this entire column and notice what happens at the bottom. Okay, it gives us the average of these whole numbers that I have selected. The average is 0.4911 and the other range, okay, and the total number count is 34. It just count it 34. Okay, minimum number in this selection is 0.0804 something, and the maximum number is 0.7, which is this one, right? And the sum of all the numbers is 16.20876 or thereabout. So you can see these very clean features are just gotten for us. Sometimes we don't even need to carry out some auto sum, because some cases we may want to do some. We may want to carry out auto sum of some of our numbers. We want to carry out auto sum. We want to check an average. We want to count numbers, and we want to check the maximum, the minimum, and more functions. Maybe sometimes you may not need all of these. All right. At the start of it all, once you select a cell or once you select a range of data, for example, this one, you can show us the average, the count, the minimum, the maximum, and the sum. Or even not only that, you can select a given range around anywhere, all right, and it will give you the same count, the same number count that you have specified. Now, one thing to be certain or to be aware of is that most of these features are enabled. If you try it on your own, you may not find all these features enabled, but the good news is the status bar is customizable. You can enable it to show the features that you want it to show. All right, so all you need to do is to come to the status bar right now. I'm on the status bar and just right click, and you can see most of the features that you can show. For example, it has shown the zoom in, the zoom slider, all these ones. You can see them by the bottom right. Okay, you can see the view shortcut, you can see the upload status over to the right. You can see sum, max, min, and even count. You can enable even the numerical count over here and it will give you, but right now I don't need it. And you can enable average, page number. You can enable all these selection mode, accessibility checker, macros, macro recording. You can enable all this if you want, and you can see it coming up. End mode, you can see, and you can see fixed decimal, scroll lock, and permissions, signatures, everything. You can see cell mode, everything. If you want to enable, you can enable, and if you want to disable, you can disable as well. All right, so it's good news is that this status bar is customizable. You show what you want it to show. It will show what you want it to show. Okay, so take note of this, and this is quite important. Now let's look at other important things that this very status bar is carrying that maybe we are aware of and maybe we are not aware of. When you look at the bottom right, you will see the zoom in features. Okay, you can zoom in and out of the selection. You can see I'm zooming out, and you can zoom in as well to see your data more clearly. You can do that. Okay, you can see it. Additionally, you can come straight to the zoom level. You can click and you can zoom in using this zoom level selection. You can make it 200% and you can say okay, and you can see it just automatically increase it. You can click again and make it fit to selection. If you want, you can fit to selection, or additionally you may want to do custom fit, maybe giving a customized number, a custom number. You can just give in any number of your own. You can do fits to selection. You can make it 25% or thereabout. You can see how it zoomed out quickly. So but for now I want to keep it at 100% so that we can have clarity in the view of the data. All right, so this is our data and this is status bar, and so you can do the zoom in from this plus or minus sign. You can easily zoom in and zoom out. Okay, and additionally you can have these three key features. For example, here you have the normal view. This is the normal view. Any Excel sheets that you open, this is the normal view that you're going to get. Okay, when you come to this, the next status bar is the page layout. When you click on it, it's going to give you the page page layout. Okay, page layout is like the form in which the paper is going to be, the document is going to be printed at the end of it all. So you can try to zoom out and see it correctly. So this is how it's going to go on paper when you print it. You can see how it simply arranged it for you in A4 sizes. This is how it's going to look like when you print your document. All right, this is how it's going to be. So you can see it and you can move around depending if you want to be certain of the fitting, the paper fit or the paper size, whether it's going to contain your data, the whole of your data or not. You can come to this paper page layout and you can see an idea of it. The last one is also called the page break view, page break preview. You can click on it to see the page break preview and how your entire paper is going to look like on pages. Okay, this is, you can come to the end and you can see this is page 1, this is page 2, and this is page 3. And if you are not certain or if you are not comfortable with this, you can come all the way to the blue line and you can see the mouse pointer just changes and you can easily drag to accommodate more data, and you can make all this in page 1 and you can see this one on page 2. And if you want it to take more, which means more smaller items, you can even take more pages, more data on the page and thereabout. So you are free to play around with the green line to be able to accommodate your data according to how it's going to be printed. So this is just like a preview of how it's going to be printed. So there is so much to learn, so much to look out for on this very status bar. So for example, let's take a look at one more key feature of this status bar that is kind of interesting for you, okay, to take note of. So whenever you are on a given cell, you can see it shows and I'm typing on that cell, you can see something, let's say I type W and you can see it says it is in enter mode, which means I have typed something and it's waiting for me to enter it. Okay, so once I hit enter, it's now say the cell is ready. Now it's on ready mode. So notice what happens when I click on this particular cell and go back to and want to start editing the content from this function tab. Okay, you can see it goes back to edit, which means now I'm editing this particular cell. Okay, so this is a very good way to keep in touch or to stay active or to stay sensitive to your data and whatever you are doing, because this thing is keeping in mind, is helping you to keep in touch or is helping you to stay active and much more productive, knowing what you're doing and getting you some solutions and some data very, very fast. Okay, it's been programmed to do quite a lot in that regard. You can see this macro. This macro is also shown here. You can decide to disable it, so it can show you when you are using macros to record your data or when you are not using macros. So these are just key features, and these are simple features that you can have on the status bar of Microsoft Excel. So this is just a bit about it. Feel free to try it. Feel free to enable certain features in it. Feel free to see how it is going to help you in your data processing and data analysis. This is a very interesting feature. Don't ignore it. Try to maximize the use of it and it will help you in your data management. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to always hit the subscribe and notification buttons to stay connected to this channel for more of our very, very useful videos. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.